Yar, me mateys, and welcome to another budget deck tech. Hello, and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting the subscribe button if this ends up being a better video than you expected. But let's get right into the deck because it's pirates. It's a very simple deck. All right, other than doing my intro like a squirrel hopped up on stimulants, we've got a very simple budget deck here. I've said this already, but it's Pirates. Pirates is fun. It got all the support, and basically all of the support exists only in set 6. If we group this by set, we have one first chapter card, 10 into the Inklands, 4 Ursulas, 2 Shimmering Skies, and 40 Azurite Seas cards. And like the reason why it works now, well, other than the fact that it's 40 cards, but the reason why it like is good is because we've got Donald Duck and Wendy Darling. These two form a fairly substantial, let's say, hyper aggro package where between the two of them, you can start questing very aggressively, very quickly, and have reload between Daisy Duck and Captain Hook. So your general game plan is play turn 1 Pirate, play turn 2 Wendy Darling, play turn 3 Donald Duck, play turn 4 Daisy Duck, or alternatively, you play Jolly Roger somewhere in there, either turn 2, turn 1, what have you. Because if you have the Jolly Roger out, on turn 3, you can actually get a substantial amount of card draw off of Daisy Duck. Now, this deck is probably going to remain cheap unless pirates as a tribal category gain a lot more support, since this isn't overpowered by any means. Does have the punch up potential that I always talk about in my videos, where you can beat decks that are better than yours just through surprise factor or hyper aggro factor. Like, it's not every deck that's able to deal with turn 2 Wendy Darling that's evasive and constantly questing. Although it is more than I would like to, say that this deck is able to win that often. This is definitely for fun and definitely a price consideration deck. You get what you pay for with this deck, $11, cheaper than a starter deck, unless it's one of those starter decks that has been pulled out of the box and is just like the wrappers. You know what I'm talking about. I'll put up a picture of them. But yeah, no, other than that, the big struggle of the deck is card draw, which is where one of our only non-pirates comes from. When you play this character, if your opponent has more cards in their hand than you may draw a card. Being able to play a body out that replaces itself in card value is always valuable in these decks. I ran the 2 of Moana as well, since she can very much swing turns later on if you have played Jolly Roger. The problem with Moana is that you basically need 2 locations out in order for her to work, because you should be moving everything to Jolly Roger for free, since your pirate characters may move here for free. They gain rush. However, this is where like a bit of skill expression is actually shown in the deck. You should not move your pirates there unless you need them to challenge right then and there, or if you're trying to get value off of Daisy Duck Pirate Captain. Since Daisy Duck Pirate Captain, obviously she's the strongest source of card draw in the deck, as I've mentioned, but if you want the big swing turns where you have 4 characters out, you shift out into Moana, and you get like a 4 character or a 4 lore swing for game, you can't have your characters at the location preemptively, because you can't move out characters from a location except to another location. Just a bit of tech I've learned through all of my testing with this amethyst steel locations deck. But yeah, that's it. Your game plan's very straightforward. You have some funky stuff you can do. And I should explain Mickey Mouse Steamboat Pilot in here. We have this Mickey Mouse Pirate Captain. Whenever this character quests, chosen pirate character gets +2 and gains this character takes no damage from challenges this turn. Very valuable effect if you're in the aggro mirror. This is where this deck is good. If you're facing another aggro deck, you can outvalue them with all of your characters that can suddenly swing, as well as all of your sort of combat tricks with John Silver, as well as Captain Hook. During your turn, another character, Ray's character can't quest for the rest of this turn. He looks so tired in this card. Good art. And then finally, your late game finisher of Dawn Carnage, a 4/4 evasive, is hard for a lot of decks to deal with. So he's often able to just start questing for 2 lore for free. If you've ever had the displeasure of facing a 2 lore evasive genie, then you'll know that having a 4 health 2 lore evasive character on the board is really annoying to deal with. On the flip side, Dawn Carnage helps you deal with opposing genies, wish fulfilled, very easily with the Jolly Roger out if they overextend slightly, either by trying to kill off your Wendy Darling, or they just quest with him without knowing. You can then suddenly change the game in your favor very quickly off of Dawn Carnage, move to Jolly Roger, kill character. And Jolly Roger is usually not going to get interacted with. Typically speaking, they only challenge Jolly Roger when everything else is dealt with, since dealing with a location that doesn't generate any lore and has, I don't want to say just a mild upside. This is actually a pretty big upside in this deck, the ability to gain Rush immediately for free for all of your pirate characters. It's just, there are ways around it other than having to take out the location as fast as possible, right? So you are pretty comfortable with just sticking Jolly Roger turn 1, and if they do kill it, then turn 2, you stick John Darling or Moana out and kill off whatever they're trying to threaten your location with. That's it. We have a very low uninkable count. Didn't feel the need to have it any higher than that. You can flex around a few characters as well in this deck. Like literally, you just go up to John Silver, down to Clarabelle if you're finding that the card draw is consistent enough. Why is there 5 Mickey Mouses now? You can even go up to 4 Moana, sorry. But like I said, she's niche use cases. Definitely could see a use for her, but this isn't quite the deck where she shines the most. I have the 2 just so that if you have a Moana you want to play around with, you can play around with her, but she's also pretty easily replaced with more Captain Hooks. Those are definitely, he's a pretty standout character in this deck, being able to just eliminate your opponent's board if you challenge around with him correctly. You also don't really need Mickey Mouse Steamboat Pilot. I just like having the option of the shift line. And then finally, like who you can replace with. If you have him, you can look towards a more substantial why is he not showing up? Wait, is he actually not a pirate? Hold on. Bruh, he's from the pirate movie. I always thought this character is a pirate. It's fine. It makes sense. I'm just a little dumb, but I can't believe I never realized that. That's hilarious. Message in the comments if you didn't know that he was a pirate as well. But then you also have this John Silver alien pirate. He can go in. He's a $2 card, so he does bump up the price quite a bit. for an $11 deck, I should clarify. But if you do have a few of him lying around, or you don't mind pushing up the deck a bit, being able to make a character reckless, just a bit more flex. Not necessarily good, just another option available. Just, yeah. Like, it's just simple. There's nothing too crazy going on here. You just look at all of the pirate characters and you decide, oh, this one looks good. Let's add him in. Or, oh, this one looks better. We can do this. And yeah, it's just, yeah, that's it. I wish you a good rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, dawn, or dusk. I do hope you hit that subscribe button, and I do hope to see you next time.